everyone. In this video we are going to be looking at Little Hearts for His Glory. This is a complete curriculum for ages 5 to 7. It is Christ-centered, flexible, quick activities, easy to use, fun ideas, and complete lesson plan. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. All right, let's flip over here to the table of contents. And as you can see here, we have a little introduction, but what I want to show you is what you are going to be doing each unit, okay? So bear with me here. So the first thing in each unit is kind of a history lesson, and they actually call it Learning Through History. And so your child will have a Learning Through History section in each unit, along with a language arts and math section. So they're going to be doing history from the beginning of history, and as you can see, they're working their way through Bible times, and they're actually going all the way through modern times. Here we've got the Reformation, settling America, the start of a new nation, preserving the United States, sights to see and places to visit, and then living for Jesus. So this is kind of creation all the way to modern times in terms of history, and then it's going to cover language arts and math as well. There's also an appendix, and the appendix is just going to have some ideas for phonics, and then if you choose to use some different science and math textbooks, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here, but if you decide to use some different ones, they have some optional schedules for those. They also have a list of optional literature supplements if you'd like to look at that as well. Your kids will also be learning rhymes, and so the rhymes for each unit are listed in the back of the book, and then of course other books by this author. So let's go ahead. Oh, actually, before we take a look into the unit, I do want to show you that they do kind of give a little summary of about everything, a little introduction, and then something to make note of. When you see a star next to something, that means that that's considered necessary, and their suggestion is not to skip that, to make sure you do that. And to do the START activities, you're going to need those resources. So obviously this is a complete curriculum lesson guide, but you need to buy additional things like the history book. And they have, you know, history for little pilgrims, history stories for children. Also, do it carefully in finding the answers. So there's some things that you need to purchase in addition to this. So that's important to know. There's also stars. This is saying you need to do one of these, and they give you some choices. So, you know, here for Bible, here are some choices of Bible books that they suggest that you use. If you have one of them, great, you don't need to buy it. If you don't, these are their suggestions. I really think if you have any type of children's Bible book, you will be good for the Bible time. You don't necessarily have to buy the one that they suggested, but you do want to probably make sure you get Bible in. So again, here are some choices for handwriting. They suggest italic handwriting, book A or B, a reason for handwriting, K or A, or your own handwriting program. How great is that? You could use whatever you like with this book when it comes to handwriting. And again, for phonics, they have a couple suggestions, and then number 3, your own phonics program. So I love this. It's actually originally why I bought this for my younger children, was because I have a phonics program that I absolutely love, but a lot of curriculum for the younger kids includes phonics, and it's a phonics curriculum that I don't want to use. This curriculum, I can use the phonics program, I can use the math program that I want to use, and still make use of these lesson guides. So that's really wonderful. And then we have checkmark resources. They're going to provide text and music connections. Now, like I said, there's kind of 2 components. There's the Learning Through History component, and then there is the basics, learning the basics component. So in Learning Through History, your child is going to cover all of these different areas, but not all of them every single day. They're going to kind of mix them up. So they're going to be reading about history. They're going to learn some rhymes in motion, Bible study, devotional activity, corresponding music, an art activity, science discovery, thinking games, and dramatic play. They'll be covering all of those throughout each unit, but only, I think, 5 of them each day, I believe. And when we look at the actual lesson plans, that'll make more sense. Here's learning the basics. They're going to be doing fine motor skills, handwriting, phonics, story time, and then math exploration. So let's go ahead and jump in and look at the lesson plans for Unit 1. What we're looking at right here is just one day. This half of the page is learning through history. This half is learning the basics component. Remember what I just showed you, learning through history. Let's flip back there really quickly. Here are all the basics for, oops, that's not learning through history. Here we go, learning through history. Here are all the different components that your child might be doing for the learning through history section, but they're not going to do all of those. They're just going to do 5. So on day 1, they're going to be reading about history. They're going to do a science discovery, rhymes in motion, a Bible study, and a corresponding music. As you can see, I put a check as we completed them. Then for learning the basics, they're going to do a fine motor skill, some phonics, math exploration, and story time. Now what I want to show you here and kind of point out is, again, this is all day 1. This says read about history in the following resource. So you need History for Little Pilgrims. You're going to read pages 1 through 3, and it tells you right here what's the key idea that your child wants to be able to take away from this. That history is the true story about God's plan for our world, and then it goes on to tell you what that key idea is. So I love that. Here again for the science discovery, you're going to be doing science in here, rhymes in motion, so your kids are going to be learning a rhyme, a Bible study, and then some music. And then again for the basics, here's a fine motor skills. Now look, it says choose one of the thinking skills options. So you pick which one of these. Which book do you have? Which one do you want to use? Story time, phonics. Again, it says use Reading Made Easy. Use the reading lesson or your own phonics program. And so I just was using my own phonics program, so I just put a check there when we had completed the phonics program that we were doing. And then we have math. Again, I just put a check here when we had finished the math curriculum that we were using, which was math. You see, we did do the Essentials Math Kindergarten. I did have that. I did do it with one child, but we went back to math, you see, with my other kids. So I just put a check when we did the math lesson that we were using. All right, so that was day 1. So let's look at day 2. So again, we're reading about history, but look here. Instead of doing science, they're going to be doing art. Do you notice I crossed that off? Yeah, I'm not big into artsy craftsy things, so we didn't do them. I crossed that off. And also here, we didn't do fine motor skills or story time that day. I don't remember why. I did this years ago, but I'm going to guess that I probably had a fussy baby or something and we just didn't get to it. So we moved on. But anyway, so you get the idea though. So here's day 3 again. On day 3 in Learning Through History, here they're doing a dramatic play. Remember, day 1 they did science, day 2 they did art, day 3 they're doing a dramatic play. So there's some variation to kind of make it exciting for them. Over here is day 4, another science discovery, and then over here is day 5, and they have a thinking game going on right here. So I'm going to just kind of skip ahead and show you maybe a lesson a little bit farther back. Okay, we'll go right here. That looks good. Here's Unit 20. The focus is the spread of Christianity. And so in the Learning Through History section, you see they have reading about history, thinking games, rhymes, Bible study, and music. And then in the math and language arts section, we've got the fine motor skill, story time, phonics choices, and then math exploration. Okay, so here would be day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5 of Unit 20. All right, I think you guys get the idea of how that's set up. So hopefully looking inside this really helps you get a better idea of how this is set up and if it would work for you and your children. Let's just really quickly go back here to the appendix, and I'll just show you what's in here. So here's a little bit about pacing for phonics, some different, an alternate schedule if you are using Our Father's World by Christian Liberty Press for grade 1, and there's some other alternative schedules as well if you're using maybe a different math program. And then here's some supplemental or optional literature to read with your child, which is really nice to maybe find something that goes along with what you're learning, and just to add a little bit more variety and some extra literature and read alouds. And then here are all the rhymes that your child is going to be learning, so that they're right back here for you to see the words for those rhymes. And then I think that is it after the rhymes. Let me just flip through that and see. Yep, I think that's it, you guys. Was the rhymes the last thing? Yep, oh yes, other books by the author. And obviously this is one in a series, so I will point that out. This is Little Hearts for His Glory for ages 5 to 7, but the author has books for a wide age range. And so she's got Little Hands to Heaven for ages 2 to 5, Beyond Little Hearts for His Glory for ages 6 to 7, and so on. So you can go and check out all of those options on their website. I will try to remember to leave a link to that down below. So I hope this kind of a look inside the book was helpful for you. I would love to hear if you have used Little Hearts for His Glory or any of the other books in the series. Let me know in the comments and tell me what you thought of it. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.